Hi, how we doing?
Look, David, I don't want to start off the podcast like this. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to the 23
Wait, boss mate, can I say,
podcast.
are you recording?
Boss man, I need you to be quiet here.
I have something kind of serious to say.
I have something really serious
Oh,
to say.
Jesus,
So
okay.
I want to start.
What is it?
I want to start off the podcast. So yes, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to 23 Shots of JD podcast. If you're new, what's up? If you're
Where is
old,
this going?
what's up? But look,
If you're all what's up, and also I hope you have good healthcare
yeah, true.
and enough superannuation.
And look, I'm, this is really hard for me to say, but obviously the basis of this podcast is just essentially me and David are good mates. And I think, like any good mate, if you see a problem with your friend, one of your good friends, I think
Where
you
is
really
this
have to
going?
go and tell them up front and identify it. And I just want to. I didn't really want to tell.
Serious thing I want to
I don't really want to tell the audience like in this type of manner, but unfortunately, it has to be like this. So
Where is this going?
8 a.m.,
I'm
8:11 a.m. on a Wednesday, mate. So lucky. Dynamo Moscow
Oh no.
made gold in the Russian ice hockey, clutched it out.
Okay, yes, I was betting on the ice hockey. Yes, I was betting on the Russian ice hockey.
Oh, you're betting on the NHL, boss? The NHL,
No,
the,
Canadian, the Russian ice hockey. Yeah, no. Can I quickly say? Okay, fucking, let's go with this. Fuck you, fucking fine. Yes, I've been betting on the
Look, I didn't
Russian
want
ice
to do this,
hockey.
boss. I didn't want to do this, but
Look,
some people need to say this, and I feel like I need to say
okay.
it to you,
Before we get into my betting, I need to say something serious.
8:11 a.m. 8:11
Yes,
a.m.
I was. Yes, okay. Before I need to say something serious. I was listening to myself on a podcast of last night. I don't know, fucking a lot of questions, and we all sound shitty. We all hate the sound of our own voices on podcasts. But when I was talking about Preston Campbell, that it didn't come out very well. I was not happy how what I said, and it was stupid. And I was a complete shambles how I explained what I think we all knew what I was trying to say, but it was just a mess. It was not smart. And I'm sorry if Preston Campbell ever hears that podcast. He will never. But I shouldn't have said that. I guess now it gets even more embarrassing, I guess, is yes, I was betting.
We
want to get back
This is
to
really looking bad for you. I'm not going to lie.
Yes. I mean, yeah, you know what it was a mess. I shouldn't have said that. But yeah, so I was betting on the Russian ice hockey and I was betting on the horses all Wednesday. But what happened was I was trying to chase my losses. I'm the reason. I was trying to chase my losses. All right. I was trying to chase my losses, which is something you should always do when you gamble because it's not over until until you quit. You haven't lost. It's just a temporary negative. So you should really gamble until you can't no more and then take out a loan and try to get back. Always try to break even. Because I lost on the Ravens. The Ravens screwed me. The Ravens utterly screwed me.
OT as well.
Overtime, the Ravens screwed me. I guessed all the receivers right. You know, my man, Marquise Brown. Everyone said Marquise Brown was terrible. I don't know why. Same thing with Jamar Chase. Everyone said he was doing bad. I have been reading that they were saying that he was dropping balls and the Alex Ross comparison came in. I even said that. Got to apologize to the man. Of course he bossed it. I picked all the receivers. I don't know why people said they were bad. I picked them. And then the Ravens decided to ruin the game for me. And I lost. And then I put in some more money into my account and I tried to make it back on the Russian ice hockey. And the Russian ice hockey is good because it kicks off around middle, like 7:30 our time. Then by the time
Sorry, can you just to clarify?
7:30 p.m. 7:30 p.m.
Okay.
7:30 p.m. I don't admit to you all the gambling that I do. 7:30 p.m. I put more money. I put my more money on the Russian ice hockey. It won. It's good because it finishes at 9:30, which means you have enough time to put bets on the soccer that happens overnight.
Oh my God.
So I unfortunately took my winnings and put it on Manchester United to win by 2 against Young Boys, which is the team that is known for being defeated by Gylfi Sigurdsson and the Catholic Church.
No.
But unfortunately, turns out Manchester United aren't religious enough, and nor are they Australian, because Australian priests actually have the worst reputation with young boys. But unfortunately, Jesse Lingard's reputation is probably worse than the Catholic Churches with young boys right now, because he plays the perfect through ball to lose the game for us. And to be fair, I don't care they lost because I needed them to win by 2 or more. But we got to talk about Aaron Wan-Bissaka sliding in, ruining the game for me. And then I put more money in. I doubled it on the horses. Then I lost it on the horses. Then I won it back. Then I put it on Liverpool to win by 2 or more. And they also lost. Or they won, but only by 1. So, yeah, I've deleted the Sportsbet app and I will no longer be betting. I believe now you should never chase your losses is the final thing. Never chase your losses.
Okay, fair enough then. At least you went through it with the audience. Because when I got that message at 8:11 a.m., that's a message that you shouldn't really be getting at 8:11 a.m. That my friend is betting on Russian ice hockey.
I did.
Ice hockey in general
a bit.
Like ice hockey in general is just
no. I've got a coworker who claims to be an ice hockey connoisseur. He loves the ice hockey. He never watches it.
In the
doesn't
Russian
know the team.
context.
No, but we looked at the table. One team was undefeated. Another team hadn't won a game, and all we needed was for them to win by 2 or more. So it was a lock. And to be fair, despite the fact that they lost, that they were 3-all with 30 seconds to go, they came through. So I was sweating on it, but I needed to tell someone about my big win, And now my boss is messaging me a bet slip, so I will just close that now.
Close that and leave that for the post-podcast production where you re-download the app and reinvest your hard-earned money.
This is really like it's just like the problem with, as we've said many times on this podcast, there's nothing to do right now in Sydney. You're not allowed to do anything. As of this week, we're allowed to have a picnic with our friends. I don't know what's going to go on. I need to read up on the picnic. Yeah, I need to Google what the public drinking laws are. I don't fucking know what they're doing. Apparently right now police have so much power they can just fine you on the spot. So I need to get around that, but there's nothing else to do. So betting really is doing a service for us. And if we have to lose a bit of money for it, then that's okay because we would have been spending that money in a pub anyway. So it's fine is the point.
Yeah, true. You're just circulating the money around the economy.
I'm really doing God's work, if we're honest.
Yeah,
betting against young boys, you always want young boys to succeed. So maybe that wasn't God's work. But, I think I'm helping the economy. I really think that I should get a discount on my taxes for this.
What is young boys? Like they're always in the Europa League.
I don't know.
It's like, what is young boys? And
it's a common name for football teams. I'm not going to Google young boys. So Newell's old boys, I think.
Old boys make sense. Everyone knows like the old boy term. Young boys.
What is the old boy term?
No, young boys. Like when you go to like
make sure.
When you go to like a
oh yes, no, I
school,
understand. Yes,
you know what I mean. Like, he was an old boy at this school. No one says like to like a current high school, like, the young boy.
Young boys.
This school.
I guess maybe. It's in Switzerland, so English as a second language is the best thing I can give. But young boys, maybe because they're footballers, they're young. It's the young boys of the town is probably what it is. It's BSC Young Boys. So it's based in Bern, Switzerland. I don't know what the BS, probably because B and S is Bern, Switzerland. I don't know what C is, but young boys, probably because they're the young boys of the town.
I guess, but
it's kind of cool, actually. I kind of like that. Like
no, boss,
young and old boys.
No. If your team's called Young Boys, you're already raising red flags, especially if the coach is not a young boy. If it's the coach is like 80 years old, and I'm the coach of
the young boys. I mentor the young boys.
Not a good look.
But I think it's cool, but they got to keep the BSC. Like they are just known as young boys. They should be known as BSC. Like Newell's young old boys is Newell's old boys. It's not old boys. I think if you're going to be called young boys, if you're going to have weird terms that you can't search into Google without coming up with weird shit,
I know,
or the suspicion of weird shit, you should keep the preface of the BSC. Because also, it's going to be hard to Google them. If I just Google young boys, now that I've Googled young boys, it's going to come up with the football team. But it's not going to come up with the football team.
Okay, sure, David.
Oh, I guess it does.
With the football
it does.
Team. Okay.
It comes up with the football team. But I don't think, if I clear my history and then Google it, I don't think it'll come up with the football team. So it's kind of dumb from a marketing
perspective. It is a bit of a rogue term just to search into Google, though, just young boys.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you wouldn't expect Google to show you.
So, yeah. They didn't change the name because it puts people like the opposition at risk. Imagine typing in Ronaldo and Young Boys. You know, you might be getting some mixed messages here, especially like you said
did
before.
you see
Sigurdsson and Young Boys? That's a whole different conversation.
Sigurdsson? I mean, what happens if you are guilty? All right, okay, let's all allegedly, because I don't know if he's been proven guilty, but if you are guilty, sorry, Gylfi Sigurdsson, not guilty Sigurdsson. If you are Gylfi Sigurdsson, and okay, so Everton don't want you anymore, just before the police got you, right? But you know you're a pedophile. Or if you are him and he is a pedophile, you know you're a pedophile yourself, and your agent calls and says, "Look, BSC Young Boys want you." Or first of all, if your agent just messages you, "Young Boys want you," first of all, you are freaking out. You're like, "Oh my God, they're onto me." But also, if your agent then clears it up and says, "No, Young Boys want you. Everton don't want you anymore. Young Boys want to offer you 3-year deal. You'll start every game." Are you like freaked out by the idea of going to a team nicknamed Young Boys? If you know that you touch on the side Young Boys, does that mean like, oh, this is not good? You're just like returning to a scene of a crime in some kind of weird way.
Yeah, well, 100% it would be. But then it could, you know, when someone's accusing you of something and you lean into it instead to make it like, to make them not seem like, oh, you know, if he's leaning into it, then it's like, oh, he's taking
you think
it. Like,
I never touch Young Boys. I love Young Boys. I play for Young Boys.
I'm playing for the Young Boys.
Yeah, I guess so, actually.
Young Boys. You know, when it's like, I know you farted or something, and it's like, oh, bro, do you fart? Like, oh, 100% I farted. It's like,
that is the best way.
Yeah.
I remember, just to point on this, I remember one of the best things, and you turned around and said it to me at the time, one of the best ways we ever found someone sort of ask for something in an awkward situation was we were standing up at halftime at a footy game, and we were standing up behind a group of blokes, like adults, like on the booze. And there were cheerleaders. I don't know if you remember this. There were cheerleaders on at halftime. We were all standing up. We might have been looking at them. I don't think we necessarily were. We were just kind of looking around. We were standing up because, I don't know, one of our friends stood up, so we all stood up. Point is, we were blocking the view of these tradies. I assume they're fucking tradies. But they were cool guys. We were blocking their view of the cheerleaders. And he said to me, "Oi, mate, can you guys get the fuck out the way? I'm trying to perv on the girls." Yeah. And you turned around to me and went, that was the best way he could have asked that. Because like any other way, but I'm like, guys, can you move? It might not have worked out. We could have started an argument. We're not arguing with guys. That's a stupid thing. We wouldn't have done that. But like it could have, there was a situation in which we don't move. But by asking us to move because he wants to perv on the cheerleaders, there's no way you just kind of unconsciously laugh and move away in kind of the reaction because you're like, whoa, I can't believe he said that. It was the perfect way. So if you are going to do something, you got to lean into it.
That's why.
If you are going to touch Young Boys and you're an Everton footballer, you may as well play for Young Boys.
Well, look, there's always that saying, honesty is the best policy. And if you're upfront and you're honest and you demand what you want, you're going to get what you want. And, you know, who am I if you want to?
If Adam Johnson had asked for a transfer to Young Boys from Man City all those years ago, well, is there a young girls team? That's a suspicious name. If you call your team Young Girls, I mean, I guess theoretically, because if you have a women's team, a lot of these clubs do, you can't have the women play for Young Boys. That's kind of offensive. You've got to change the girls team to the Young Girls.
I did not think about that either. So,
but then he couldn't play for Young Girls because he would have to be a transsexual. Yeah, he couldn't be a guy and play for the Young Girls.
Of course.
So I guess Adam Johnson is kind of unlucky there.
That's what I mean. That's just FIFA, that's when FIFA would step in. They're like, look, you're not a girl.
Adam Johnson could have also not touched the girl and then he wouldn't be in prison in the first place. But
yeah. Is he still in prison?
You know, I think so. I think he's young, though.
That's just happened, eh?
Man City have a bad record with that.
Yeah.
They have a really bad record.
And he was like
Adam
a big
Johnson
signing.
And then was
like relatively big.
Good?
I'm pretty sure he had like caps for England, if I'm not mistaken.
Shit.
So one of your own, boss.
Yeah. Yeah, so they have a really bad record actually. Mendy and Adam Johnson, you know, Everton. It's just the best name though. If he is guilty and his name is Gylfi, I would pay for the judge to say, I deem guilty or something. I deem Mr. Sigurdsson guilty. Like just say something about the name. A little bit of wordplay with the name would go a long way, I think. Very elegant judge.
Especially because you know it's going to be a public event. So if you're the judge, you just add a little bit of pizzazz on it.
You know what the worst part is, though? I don't actually know if he is guilty. I don't think, like, it's all alleged at the moment. Like, I don't think there's any proof. I think just because it's like,
come on, boss. If it's pedophilia, when there's smoke, there's fire, boss. Sure.
Yeah, probably.
No
But
one's.
I don't even know if it is boys though. I just saw memes that it was boys, but I don't actually know if it was. Like we actually know not. All I know about is memes. All I'm saying is the memes took off so fast. Let me Google it. Gilfie Sigurdsson.
Guilty Sigurdsson. That's what I mean. Yeah, like you said, it was all memes that I saw on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, stuff like that. So
Icelandic.
I honestly have no context.
Yeah, I don't know. So what was he? Who was he trying to? I don't fucking know. I don't think there's many details. The police kept it quite tight-lipped. I mean, it's good news for Dominic Calvert-Lewin though, because now he gets to take the penalties. So one man's molestation is another man's win, I guess. Well, hopefully it's not molestation. Hopefully it was consensual, because that would be that would be very bad.
Let's be honest. I think what we should
I guess if they're underage, it can't be consensual.
I was gonna say,
the guy is a pedophile. I mean,
I think we should all hope for that. None of it even happens. I think that's what we should hope for.
Yeah, that is the truth, isn't it? When something like that, the best case scenario is not that he gets convicted and goes to jail. It's that he truthfully didn't do it, because then no one gets molested. And that's the best scenario.
That's what I mean. Like, that's why you're innocent until proven guilty, because everyone wants the good thing to be true, not the bad thing to be true. No one wants guilty to be guilty.
Yeah, no one wants guilty to be guilty.
They don't want that.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, of course you don't. What was I going to? No, but yeah, it's that is true. Did you see? I mean, another innocent till proven guilty, Cristiano Ronaldo. Did you see the Newcastle fans? All-time great chant. I know it's offensive to Cristiano, but it is one of the best chants.
I just saw him bend them over. Actually, he didn't really bend them over. He got some lucky tap in.
The goalkeeper,
trash goalkeeping.
The goalkeeper was paid off for sure. But the second goal, the take to move it forward onto the left, beautiful, perfect.
The Luke Shaw ball, immense.
Oh yeah, everything, dude. I don't know if I can get the video. I don't know if can they hear video? If I let me try to
yeah, maybe go on your phone. If you told me earlier, I could have maybe loaded it up.
Yeah, I'll Newcastle Ronaldo chant. It is one of the funniest chants you'll ever hear. All right, where is it? Oh my, no, that's not what I want. Hold on, Geordie boys. It basically goes. Geordie boys, we're on a bender. Cristiano's a sex offender.
Oh my god!
It is one of the funniest things, and it just makes it funny that they got slapped. It's like, it's just so stupid. Where is it? I can't find it. No, I know where it is. I know where it is.
Though, to be fair,
it was a great game. That's what makes the Premier League so good. It's like Newcastle, a shit team whose best highlight is a funny chant. They were competitive. They were really competitive, and like they had that Ali Ron, that Paraguayan boy. He was amazing. So they were in the game.
Yeah, they had that. I don't know who scored that goal, but the Newcastle striker was pretty immense.
Could you hear that?
Yeah, all I can hear is sex offender.
It's just a bunch of drunk Geordie boys. We're on a bender. Cristiano's a sex offender. Class. I mean, they're a
different breed out there. I'll tell you that.
English fans are crazy. I mean, as long as they're not being like racist or sexist, I think as far as football crowds around Europe,
man, I'm not gonna lie. I think
all you can ask for is that they're not racist, sexist, or terrorists.
Well, unfortunately,
those three.
Unfortunately, boss, I feel like that's 90% of the chance.
You reckon?
No, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but a lot of them like
because in like Italy and France, 100%, I'm sure, 100%. I mean, we know like in Hungary, Bellingham was getting monkey chants, which is
but I'm pretty sure Chelsea did that
not
as well.
okay.
I'm pretty sure Chelsea's done that before.
Yeah, but in 2021,
not 20, like within the last let's say 4 or 3 years.
Really?
Pretty sure they did that. I forgot who it was. Like someone scored like a winner. Like it would have been a winner or something, and he went to celebrate, and they were like immense verbal. I think it could have been Raheem.
Oh, Raheem cops it a lot.
Raheem cops it a lot. I think it was Raheem.
Cops it from racists and non-racists alike. He just cops it from everyone.
Well, dude, were you there when we watched the We watched the England
No,
game.
I wasn't. I was at home.
Oh
But I remember
God.
what Ben was telling me.
Oh
Were they being
my
racist
God.
or
There were-
because before you say this,
to defend our
he's
friend
a
Ben,
polarizing player.
His dad wasn't. But
His dad wasn't being.
100%.
Were there people saying shit about his race?
Yeah, a little. Like it wasn't like outlandish, but it was just more like
Subtle. They were a bit harsher on Raheem when he lost the ball than Phil Foden. Is that what you're trying to say?
yeah. Like when Harry Kane wasn't really doing much up front, they weren't saying a lot. But when Raheem
I think you should abuse them all.
Yeah. Like the thing
Just
is, like
about their
Raheem,
football.
the issue with Raheem is like he's really good at getting into the position to score.
Yes,
but he can't score.
that is the thing, and it's unfortunate because it's like him and Timo Werner. They miss open opportunities, but if they weren't as good as they were, they wouldn't even be in the place in the first place.
100%.
So they open themselves up to more criticism than a lesser player would even be in the place to receive that criticism in the first place.
Yeah,
and it's
most
kind
definitely.
of unfair.
Yeah, it's like they put themselves in the position to score and they don't score, opposed to someone that's not even like trying to contribute to the game and they just sort of get lost in the mix and you're like, oh, he had a few good dribbles there.
Was shit, but yeah. I agree. I 100% agree. So were people really having to go at Raheem every time he lost the ball?
Not having to go, but they're like,
you're uncomfortable. You're uncomfortable.
No. It was one of those things where it's like, I feel like I'm like not a snowflake. You know what I mean? Like me and you, we're not snowflakes.
I think we're pretty good.
We're not snowflakes.
Well, I mean,
but like,
even though the fact that I apologize and started a pod, but I don't.
That situation. Yeah, you're in that situation, and you can sort of
feel
the vibe. Like, you know what?
Yeah,
these guys are from a different era than I am.
I mean, you are like black yourself. Like you have probably felt in times. I know I have being Asian. Like at times where you're like.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Were you like, oh, these people don't like me, and I kind of get this. Like, you kind of get this, like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. People don't understand it when you explain.
It's a vibe.
But you have a vibe. And you're like, they don't. I feel a bit different here because I know it's because of the color of my skin or in my shape. In my case, the shape of my eyes, etc. It's like you kind of feel it. Is that what you were feeling like?
Yeah. Like it is like an energy that you get, and it's something that I don't want to be that type of guy, but it's just like something that white people just wouldn't get because
it's like, that's what I was trying to say.
It's an uncomfortable nature that we just can vibe.
Which kind of pisses me off a bit, and most of our listeners are probably white, so it piss them off. Fucking suck a dick. Just not an underage kids. You don't end up like Guilty Sigurdsson.
Oh, Guilty Sigurdsson.
It's hard. It's so hard to explain. It's so hard to fucking explain. But like one time. It happened, and I was with a white friend, and I looked at him, and I was like, "That and he was like, he knew. He was like, that was. I feel like that was because of like the person thought you were Asian, which I am, and he like understood, and he was like, yes, I have a lot of Asian friends. He lives in the West. He's like, whenever I come to the city with a lot of my Asian friends, like they get treated that way, and it never happens to me. So I've kind of over life calculated that it's because of that. And I was like, yes. And it was like, you're my favorite person ever. Like you actually understand because it's so hard to fucking understand or to explain.
Yeah. Like, it is weird. And I think it's very noticeable when you go overseas. Like when I went to Europe, or something.
You go to Italy.
I'm not even saying like they're racist. Like really, a lot of the places I went to were like, but it's just like
it's when people's blood boils a bit as well at the football.
Yeah, they're just sort of confused that you're even here. Like, how'd you get here?
What?
Yeah, think about like a brown Asian guy.
What boat did you? I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying from like a grander context, it's like it is a bit weird to see an Asian looking guy rolling around.
Yeah.
Like all the factors combined.
I don't mind that though. I don't mind innocent, confused racism. I can deal with that.
It's more ignorance than anything. Because there'll be groups of like Chinese tourists, let's say, and it's easy to identify. Like, these are Chinese tourists. They're Chinese. They speak Mandarin, Cantonese, whatever. Like,
by the way, did you see that?
They can comprehend that.
That US Open winner, she speaks perfect Chinese. Fucking made me feel like a piece of shit. But go on.
Oh,
she speaks perfect Chinese. She's like, I can't even do an impersonation. Yeah. My mum speaks. I should be able to at least muster up an impersonation, but I can't. I can't say a word. But like, she nailed it. So fucking shame on me.
What are you saying, boss?
A lot, to be fair.
Jeez, I knew you would say that, boss. I knew you would say me though.
Well, we've discussed this.
Because I saw at the Met Gala. Yeah, fair play, mate.
Fair play. I mean, fair play. Rich as well. You know, you got to secure the bag. You know.
Yeah. So
you got to secure those Met Gala tickets.
I know.
But yeah, I know you're saying like people in Italy, like or whatever, like those countries, they don't even know. Did you see that Koulibaly? Have you seen the Koulibaly video explaining his monkey chants?
No,
it's literally him talking about.
He's a guy that did he play for Napoli? Correct? Yeah.
It's like he's explaining he didn't even understand that they could like be that mean. Like he was like, he's like, I was playing and every time I touched the ball, like the really rowdy part of the stadium like made these noises and I didn't know what they were doing. Like it just found it really weird. So I went over to my my teammate who was like, and I was like, what are they doing every time I touch the ball? Like, am I like a superstar in this city? Like, do they really love me? And he were like, and then he's like, his teammates like,
the opposite.
Explained to me that they were making monkey noises, and he's like, so then every time I got the ball, I kind of was listening, and I realized I was making monkey noises, and he's basically like, it kind of blew me away. Like I wasn't even expecting them to be that bad, but like kind of blew me away. So he was almost like more shocked than like upset. He was like, I didn't even like realize it, which to be honest, like everyone knows I make monkey chants in Italy. Like it's fucked up, but like you kind of know, but it's kind of fucked up how like he's like this, like so like he's already living in Italy, in Naples, like one of the most like southern cities, and he's like, I was surprised by the racism. It's like pretty crazy.
That being said, I've been to Naples. Rough area.
Yeah, we were talking about it before.
Yeah, rough area. So I can see where it goes, but it's strange that like that because it's such an international sport. It's weird that it's so outlandishly racist, but I think it's not racist in terms of them trying to like make fun of the person. It's more so
they're just so angry at them.
Try to get into their head and make them play worse. Like that's more the vibe that they're trying to do.
I think just frustration. Like when I was watching Spurs play, and fucking every one of them sucked penis. Every time
don't tell me you said the N-word, boss.
No, because our black guys are our best players. Fuck's sakes. Like Tanganga.
Really? Yeah, Tanganga, really?
Emerson wasn't that good. Tanganga got a red. He was exceptional. He was exceptional until he got the red. Some of those fucking mid-20s fucking white guys, Harry Winks, couldn't pass a ball forward if someone held a gun to his head and said, pass it forward or say the N-word. He couldn't do it. He can't pass forward. He has frog's eyes. He can't see straight. He's Mesut Ozil. He looks sideways and back. He can't look straight. And every time Dele or Harry Winks or Oliver Skip or Højbjerg, yes, we paid 3 holding midfielders and a box-to-box for them because that's what Dele Alli is now. Every time they got the ball, they just fucking spunked it away like a 13-year-old watching Pornhub for the first time. And I was frustrated. Who was it? It was Ben Davis. He came on and he gave away a penalty. Stupid. And I'm not going to lie. I stood up and I said some things about Wales I probably shouldn't have, but it wasn't because Jesus Christ. All right, whatever. I don't hate Wales, but I was just, and I think Wales is fair enough to fucking criticize. It's pretty open season in Wales. Like they're probably as white as they get. I don't hate Wales. I just hate Ben Davis. Well, not really Ben Davis as a person. I hate what he did. So yeah, and actually we can talk about this after, but I'll let you have your say on this. But abuse for sportsmen. Like, just say whatever you say. Do you have anything else to say on this sort of thing?
No, I can understand it. When you're supporting a team and you just get angry, like just the pure. It's more just passion, if anything. And I commend fans who have the passion. Obviously, if it goes into the racist territory, I think that's
if it stays a PG.
Yeah, but if it stays PG, if you get angry, you say like, you say F you to one of the players or whatever. It's just like, it's just you're invested so much into the game and into the team. It's like, you shouldn't really, like, I know players are going to take it as an insult, but at least you have fans that care. Because the worst thing that you want is you don't want fans that
play for Man City and you have no fans. Yeah,
that's what I mean. It's like, yeah, cool.
I want to say, where do you stand on abuse to athletes? For two reasons: just general abuse, and then also from betting, because I feel like betting creates a lot of abuse towards athletes. But either way, do you think it's a part of the job, or do you believe that like it's kind of fucked up?
Okay, I think we should preface this by saying that we are not athletes. So, like, well, me and Dave would like to think we're athletes.
No.
Back in our heyday, aka 17, 18 years old. But look, we're not athletes. So
we're athletes. We are athletes. We're just not professional athletes.
Okay, boss. I don't think we're athletes anymore. I think we're over the hill.
Just me.
Okay. You know what? To be fair, it's probably true. But from a general standpoint, I think it all depends what type of abuse. Like if you're a team and you're upset that the players aren't performing, like if you're, I don't know who's
like a loyal supporter.
Like if you're an Arsenal fan and you're a loyal supporter and you're watching what your team is producing on the field, of course you're going to get angry. And I think abuse within a certain frame is understandable. Like Aubameyang, we're paying you this much, you should be performing this well. And because you're not, I'm angry at that.
I agree. But what about letting them know? What about like messaging them on social media? We're assuming we're not talking about death threats. Well, even so, I mean, do you believe that's like this guy is paying your salary because he is your fan and he bought the shirt and he contributes to this club and it's something.
I guess
you are playing for his club. What do you think about that?
No, they're Karens, mate. If you're trying to abuse someone or you anger them and you're going to social media as the platform, like you're going to their Instagram comments, their DMs,
it's not all right,
whatever, bro. You're like Karen, bro. That's like the type. That's like the type of person. If like you got your McDonald's order wrong in the drive-thru, you're driving back and then you call the store up to tell them that they got it wrong. It's like, cool, bro. You told them that they got it wrong, but it's like, doesn't change anything. It's like, accept it.
It's true. I don't know what people think is going to happen. Do you think, like, if I message Ben Davis, you're a fucking idiot. Keep your hands by your side. Stop giving away a penalty. Leave my club now. Things that maybe I believe are true. Yeah. Actually, I agree. Yeah. Fuck him. Fuck him. Every time I watch him play, he fucking ruins the game for us. If I actually go out of my way to message him, he's not going to look at the phone and be like, fucking, this guy makes a good point. He said my mum should kill herself. I think I'm going to pull my boots up and work hard because I like him and I want to do him proud. Like, no, like it's not going to happen because athletes do read the messages. We know 100%. This. Like 100%. We have friends who are like athletes and like I know like they read the messages.
Yeah.
But like they definitely never read the messages and go, fucking, don't worry, Karen 369 who fucking told me I should kill myself because I missed that goal. I'm gonna do you proud. Like that's not gonna work.
Yeah, like I was listening to like a really interesting podcast with Ben Foster, the Watford goalkeeper.
Oh, he's cool, yeah.
Yeah, and it was talking about like how literally straight after the game, everyone goes into the change room, doesn't talk, doesn't matter what the result is, win, loss, draw, doesn't matter. Everyone goes straight into their phone and figure out what people are saying about them. And this is the Premier League. That's what I mean. That's a Premier League side. That's a Premier League side. So just imagine any other side.
It shows like that in the world. Like, so they want to see what social media say to them. It's said before they fucking crack open the beer and shit like that. Yeah,
just like someone. But it's not even probably not. It is insecure because they're looking for affirmation. Like maybe they're going like, oh, I played pretty well today. And then if they see that Gary Neville's gone like, oh, you know what? He actually had a pretty poor game. You're like, oh, wait, what? I thought I had a good game.
Which, by the way, is stupid because half the time those people just pay to like, they just got to pick something out.
Yeah, they have to have a take, yeah.
Even if you haven't had a poor game, they can just cut up a bit of footage and like,
yeah,
it's stupid. But it's fucking unfortunate. It's unfortunate that it actually happens.
Yeah. And look, like, again, when me and David, we're not exclusive to this. We abuse our players, but we abuse it to the TV, the computer screen.
TV. Or from afar if we're live.
I've definitely done it from afar. Yeah, true. I've said some terrible things from the sidelines.
Oh, yeah. But just generally, you fucking idiot. Like, when that guy from the Titans lost me my bet. That guy, I won't even say his name because I don't even want him to cop heat. Not that anyone's gonna fucking hear this and abuse him, except me. I'm joking. But
Yeah, he's joking. He's already done
he
it.
basically bombed the game for his team, got them knocked out of the finals, and lost me $40, which is probably the most important part. Like I stood up and I yelled at the TV or my computer, but like it's the extent of it. It's
Yeah.
not gonna do me any. I'm not gonna win my money back by abusing him, as much as I
Yeah.
may want to try.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. It's like that's why I say that you're a Karen if you do that. Like a Karen goes the extra mile. Like if there's
Yes, exactly. It's out of your time.
it's out of you. It's investing your time and effort to do something that's gonna have no result. Like it's like if people are let's say people are playing on the street, and you're like, oh, I don't want you to be playing on the street. It's like,
Yeah.
like cool. Yeah, like if you're a kid, you're like, all right, sick, bro. And then you call the police saying these kids are playing on the street past 6 p.m. and you get the
I
kids
fucking
in
hate
trouble. It's
people like that.
You're like, if you're the kid, you're like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like that's what.
Dude,
and then the kid is the player. The player's like, what are you doing, bro? Like, don't you have better things to do than abuse me on Instagram?
Dude, it's a fucking people like that. My boss, one of my bosses, they own it, their home, and they want to build a pool in their fucking backyard. And one of their neighbors, this fucking loser, wants to take them to the council to stop them from being able to put a pool in their backyard because he thinks it like ruins the way the street looks from the street, like the houses look from the street, and it's fucking doesn't even face the street. The truth is, he probably just doesn't want to deal with the construction for like the 2 weeks that it takes to put in a fucking pool.
Yeah,
and he's like
100%.
trying to take my boss to court just because he fucking
That's
purely because
dumb.
I think he's a lawyer. He just fucking needs something to do. He just like wants to go the extra mile just to fuck with someone because it's fun. Those people, it's fun.
Or it just could be that he wants to do a pull as well, but he just can't either. So he's like, oh, if he can do it, if I can't do it, he can't do it either. Like it's that typical thing where like it doesn't affect you. It's like
just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, especially like
Put
a
some
pool.
money on your account and put it on a different game. Try to win it back.
That's what I mean. Especially if it's a pool, it's getting hot around here. Obviously, the last couple of days have been cold, but it's getting hot. Man.
What if we actually?
Where's
That is probably the worst thing. What a fucking psychopath doesn't want another human if they can have a pool to have a pool in Sydney with global warming?
That's the
we
bigger
know it's going to be
problem.
bushfire season all over again. I'm pretty sure. Like it's going to be like 50 degrees. What a fucking asshole to not want someone to have a pool.
Imagine someone saying like, "Yeah, sorry, mate, you can't install aircon in your house because it's going to make too much noise from the outside."
Fucking hell.
You're like, mate, I'm dying inside. Let me have some aircon, mate.
Fuck off.
Fuck off. Give me some aircon. And like, mate, if I'm the neighbor, I'm like, I would like just negotiate and say like, can I use the pool? Can I hang out with you?
100%.
You and the family?
Or worse, I would just fucking leave. I would just make a bunch of fucking noise. I would just like crank out the DJ set.
There's been absolute nuisance all across the fucking neighborhood.
That's something I worry about. Actually, I was thinking about that when I was told about that. Is do you like when you buy a house? Because look, some suburbs, the east in Sydney, are known to have a lot of fucking wackos, and I've heard a lot of clients at my work and a lot of like people I know who live there. They say like they have neighbors who have fucking full on walked up to them and like given them death threats. Who've been like, look, if you fucking build this fence, if you paint this fence, and fucking I'm gonna fucking take you to court. Like that worries me. That worries me that like I'm gonna one day if I can. By some miracle, afford to buy an apartment or a house, and I'm in a strata, and there's this fucking cunt who like doesn't want anyone to be happy. Like that worries me.
Yeah, well, it's ironic you say that because I work within the built environment.
You work in construction,
and I'm working on a project right now where it's in a fairly affluent neighborhood. And we're building a pretty big building or whatever, and it's just constantly just neighbors emailing like me. It's like
really,
like I'm getting emails saying, "Oh yeah, can you just tell the workers at the front just so make sure they dispose all their face masks and stuff in the rubbish and things like that." I'm like, mate, things like.
Well, to be fair, like they should be doing.
But it'd be like one face mask, and they blow out to make it seem like 100 face masks are all over the road. Or it'd be like, oh yeah, look, so I actually thought that you guys were going to be finishing at 5:00, not 5:15. So it's just like, yeah, absolute chaos, mate. Absolute chaos.
What a piece of shit.
And it's like it's all.
Is it even that? But like. Yeah, all old people.
It's all old people that have nothing to do, and it's just they're just trying to like keep entertained.
It's
I guess,
something to
probably.
fucking do. It is.
Yeah.
Like for them, like to get out the house, like they get to put on some clothes, get out the house, talk to these fucking people, like
Yeah, I know.
get in an
Like
argument. They get to leave with some. I think the key in that situation is make them feel like they've been heard and make them feel like they've won. Because that's all they're after.
Yeah.
They're after that dopamine hit of walking away, being like,
Yeah.
I fucking won that. That's it.
Yeah.
Because they fucking losers.
Yeah. They want to have, you know, the power or whatever, but, which means
Yeah.
like I don't know why they can't just go back to like the old days where they would just have an affair or something. Like why can't you just, why can't you just occupy your time?
Download
that way?
Ashley Madison, pay for the subscription, and cheat on your fucking partner, but leave me alone.
That was an unwritten rule. I swear, if you're a housewife or a house husband, just you go on an affair, and that's how you occupy your day from.
Fuck the pool
From
boy,
when you drop
not
off
the
your
day
kid.
of the project manager.
That's what I mean. Like when you drop off your kid at school to when you pick them up, you have an affair in the middle. I thought that was common knowledge. I thought
That's what you're
the ethics
supposed to
are.
do. And that way, the people who need to do construction in the area, the gardeners who have to fucking bring in plants, they can do their job in peace.
Yes,
All right?
100%.
Take one for the team and have an affair. For fuck's sakes.
For fuck's sake, mate, you could probably take one of my teammates. I don't care. Just
Look, we got 20 tradies out the front. Pick one and fuck off.
I'm like, look, you want a 22-year-old backpacker from England? Probably better than your sloppy 50-year-old husband, mate. So take that for you. Take that.
Take that.
Imagine that. I just see like all these I'm like, I haven't got a complaint in a while. I wonder what's happening. And then I just see like one of the workers